Hello, my darlings. This is Rex Regine, but you can call me Sir. I run the Tumblr blog Sir Approves. That's one word, no hyphens. I really hate that guy, in case you were wondering. Anyway, you can find me on Facebook. Sir Approves is my Safe for Work page. You can find me Rex Regine if you would like to send a personal friend request. I know that I'm a bit of a dirty fellow to have on your list, so no offense would be taken. You can find me on Kick Messenger, Sir Approves, and guess what? Oh yes, Daddy has an Instagram now. SirApproves.official. That's right, I've jumped right into 2015 and have gotten myself an Instagram. Imagine that. Of course, all the posts there will be safe for work entertainment for your day. Now, I'm very excited about this second episode of Sir Approves, and I want to thank you all personally very, very much for making the first episode such a success. It was wonderful to have so many subscribers and to see comments and to have so many views. I appreciate it, and I love you all. Thank you very much for the support. I beg your pardon. I'm going to pop open this water right here because I feel like I'm going to need it. Ah, that's refreshing. Now, this is where I'm going to give you an opportunity to pause this and then go get yourself a drink and then cuddle in close, baby girl, because we have a lot to go over. Go ahead and pause it. Are you back? Good. What did you get to drink? Oh, well, that's one of my favorites. So, now, tonight's episode. Red flags to look for in a Dom. There are so many. It was hard to narrow down a few select choices, but I think I have 5 or 6 written down on my little list here. That's right, I still use ink and paper because I'm ridiculously old. That's a joke. I'm not that old. Not yet. I'll get there. Anyway, I digress. This question comes to us anonymously on my blog. Dear Sir, I'm new to the world of Dom Sub. Can you please tell me some things that I should watch out for? I get a lot of messages from a lot of people, and I don't know what really makes a good Dom or a good sub. You seem like you know what you're talking about. Thank you for your help. Well, thank you very much. That's a very honest question. Let's dig right into it, shall we? Because I know my show is boring because I don't have flashing lights and all that sort of thing going on. I don't have little shit emojis popping up on the screen, things like that. Anyway, let's start with the basics. Grammar. If he sends you a message and it is not complete words, never talk to him again. If he uses the letter U in place of the word you, there is a problem. If he spells baby, BBY. If he says WYD, which I'm assuming means, I beg your pardon, darling, but what are you doing this evening? I think that's what it means, but I'm not sure. Abort the mission completely. And the reason I say this, I know it's a very casual way to message, but I don't understand it. In the age of voice-to-text and suggested words, we are not living in the 90s where we were using T9 texting on our flip phones. If this person cannot form a complete word, if they will not take the time to craft a message, what time will they ever take with you? It may be cute in the beginning, but it's indicative of a larger disillusionment, how do I put this? Their grasp on details is not very firm, and that's indicated by their grammar. Plus, it's just lazy. It's just lazy, and it's nothing that you're looking for, I'm sure. So grammar, get that right out of the way. What do I have? I can't even read my own writing here. Approaching you sexually. If his first message to you, or in his first series of messages, if he approaches you sexually, you need to back up. Yes, I know that you want to be owned. I know that you're so desperate for someone to just run in and just claim you. But that desperation will lead to abuse and heartache if you don't play your cards right. Now, approaching you sexually, I did receive a screen capture from a beautiful girl that I know that was, I believe it was a message to her that said, "Gee, your face is so pretty, it would look good to throat fuck." Now, Fuxk was how fuck was spelled, so I don't even understand that. But that is a highly inappropriate first message. Every relationship, dominant, submissive, all of that should grow organically with people just talking to each other. And I don't understand why a man would approach with a completely sexual nature, because a man, the world of domination and submission is not about hooking up. It's not about sex. Actually, very little of it is about sex. The sex is quite phenomenal, but very little is actually about sex. So if that is the first thing that he is approaching you with, is an offer for sex, that's a problem. That's a red flag. And another thing that sort of ties into that is claiming you. If in the first day, I would say in the first couple weeks, if he says, "I'm your daddy, I'm your master, you're my sub, send nudes," if he in any way tries to claim you like that, that is a red flag. That's the move of an idiot. All right? That is an idiot. He's not your daddy. He's not your dom. He's not your sir. He's not your master. He's nobody. And please note that these work for the online relationships in the BDSM community as well as our, quote, real life relationships, even though these online relationships can be very much real life. I mean, it is real life. It's just how you look at it, I suppose. So if he starts claiming you and saying that he's something, that's not his place. It's your place to say to him, "I want you to be my daddy. I want you to be my sir. I want you to be my master," whatever your terminology is for your dynamic. That's up to you, darling. That's not up to him. And then you can work out the details from there. But he should never just message you and say, "I'm your daddy, I'm your dom," and then start demanding things from you. Now, I see I'm running a little short on time here. But you don't mind, do you? No, I thought not. Okay, let's keep going here. Not taking, my goodness, my own writing. Oh, yes. Bear with me now, bear with me. This is a good one. Not talking to other men. If I have known absolutely no relationships that have worked out well, where the, quote, dominant has instructed the submissive not to talk to other men, that she is not allowed to talk to other men. And I want to touch, this is a big one. This is a major red flag. This is a red flag with an alarm bell going off and explosions. It's a huge red flag. This, telling you that you cannot talk to other men, is his own fragile ego grasping to try to hold on to a relationship that he perceives as fragile. Now, I've never once ever told any of my submissives, "You're not allowed to talk to other men." The reason for this is because your job as a dominant, hear me gentlemen, I know there's a few of you listening, your job as a dominant is to possess her so completely, to love her so much, to treat her so well, just to own her so perfectly, that other men are invisible to her. It doesn't matter. Of course, some other grub is going to send her a message on Tumblr or Kick or something. Or it's, some old flame on Facebook or whatever. But it doesn't matter, because those people will be invisible because of the way you treat her. Not because you told her not to talk to other men. It's because other men will become irrelevant because you are such a man. Such a man that she could not fathom talking to other men. That is a huge red flag. Now, here's one, and I know we're over 10 minutes. Settle down. Drink your drink. Making time for you. And this one gave me a little giggle when I wrote it down because many of you know who have taken the time to message me that I am a very, very busy man. I run a business. I run my blog. I'm now doing this show. I have a couple of sort of sideline moonlighting things that I do, and I get very busy. And sometimes I'm very drained, and I am quite the introvert, and sometimes I like to just be quiet. I don't want to think. I want to relax, and I need that time to refresh so that I can come back in the morning with bold good mornings and brightening people's day where I can, and teaching and helping, and that's important to me. But there are very few men who are so dedicated to their lives that they have any sort of genuine excuse for just not talking to you, especially after some sort of sexual favor, whether that be an online sexual favor, like a task given or an assignment that you were given to do, that you did, and they received the assignment and just never talk to you again, or it takes them a long time to appreciate it. Now, that is something, and I feel like I want to say, yes, everyone except for me, because I do know that I get very, very busy. I have quite a lot going on. Most people do not have going on in their lives what I have going on. So I'm going to cut myself a little bit of slack on that one. But making time for you is very important. And that's in any relationship, making you a priority. Here's another red flag. You don't feel like you can say no. And I don't mean that in a good way, like I could never say no to him. He's so wonderful. Feeling like saying no will cause a problem for you. And I don't mean a role play problem. My little girl might say no to me, and I'll give her a dirty look. And well, but we both know we're half playing at this point, and then that no will turn into a yes, and we will move on from there. When you actually feel like saying no might be a problem, a real problem, that is a red flag. Now, of course, at this point, you've been in a relationship for a little while, but that needs to be a comfortable place. You need to be able to say, no, I don't like that. No, I don't want that. No, that's not my idea of a good time. No, I don't want another person in the bed. No, I don't want anything in my ass. No, that spanking was a little too hard. Could you please just remember that? There's no reason that you can't be treated as a human being with preferences and her own ideas. If saying no is a fearful thing, or if you feel like you have to say, I can't do this with you anymore, this is not what I'm not getting what I want out of this. If you feel like in some way that's going to not be accepted and some sort of repercussion may come out of it that's not in the realm of the roles, then that is a huge, huge problem, and you need to get out of that relationship as soon as possible. Another red flag: trust is not built before sexual favors are asked. This is to say that someone is asking you to send pictures. I rarely have actually asked anyone to send me a picture or to do anything that would require them to put themselves on film in a compromising way. I very rarely have asked for that. Normally, it just comes to me. And the reason it comes to me is because they want to make me happy. Because there is a trust there. There is a connection there. There is a relationship there. So someone who is not taking the time to build the trust, now this is before any sexual acts, is what I have written down. So that's in real life, physical touching each other, or an online relationship. That trust needs to be built. And if they are not making the effort to build that trust, you need to pull the reins in. Being submissive does not mean that you're a doormat, or that you're stupid, or that you're anything less than wonderful. And you will probably hear me say that for years to come, maybe in every episode. You are your own unique, beautiful, wonderful person. You are not a submissive like any other. And gentlemen, hear me. You are your own unique dominant. You will never be as good at being me as I am. And I will never be as good at being you as you are. Remember that. You are unique. So respect yourself and respect the people you have relationships with. Be a fucking gentleman. And ladies, act like a fucking lady. And I mean that. Just because you are submissive doesn't mean you're a doormat. And I'm going to close with this, because I know I've probably lost half my audience at this point, because there was some dancing baby to the left or to the right, or something to click on that was very brightly colored, with no sort of intellect involved in it. So I hope those people are enjoying that. I'm going to leave you with a bit of advice that I have told countless people through the years. And it's quite simple. Trust your gut. If something feels wrong, it most likely is. You have instincts for a reason. We all have a tendency at times to amp up our emotions, to ramp things up to a frenzied state, especially women. You know you're moody. You know you are. And in that state, we can get very worked up. But if you think something is wrong, something probably is wrong. That's why you have those instincts. And never be afraid to tell one of these fuckboys, no, we're not talking. Or to just block them. Don't even respond. Don't give them the courtesy of an in your life. The unfortunate part is that there are some women that those fuckboy tactics have worked on, which is why they do it. And if you are one of those women, could you please stop? You're ruining it for a lot of women. Maybe you need to take these things to heart. Maybe you need to understand yourself a little better and keep the fuckboys out of our business. So, that's what I have on red flags to look out for in a dom. I'm sure that we will be revisiting this again and again as time goes on, and as subscriptions go up and views go up, and people are going to want to hear this same question. I've probably actually answered this question in person 700 times, honestly. So that's what I have for you on that. I hope you're enjoying your drink. I hope you're enjoying your evening. I'd like to thank you very personally for tuning in, for listening to my old man babblings. And I'll leave you with that. Trust your gut, darlings. I'm going to put all of my information in a little clip at the end of the video so I don't have to self-promote anymore, because it's quite obnoxious. That's all for now, my darlings. All of my best and all of my love. Sir.